Hello, my name is Tara Love Perry, and lately I've been enjoying making these little YouTube videos to share with you. I do soul reading and help people heal things that they're not usually able to see. I won't go into that right now. Right now I feel inspired to offer two things. The first thing is an acknowledgement. And the second thing is a healing technique that I use in my readings, in my healing sessions. I've been using this, 5 or 6 years maybe, this particular technique. And it's the most profound way of clearing and healing and addressing things that need to be seen. It heals all levels of everything, from dense, dark, nasty illnesses to entities and, psychic traumas, everything, belief systems and everything. So I really want to share that with you. It's something that I offer in a weekend workshop, and I'm putting it out here as a tool to use from my experience and as an offering, as a gift, because I really want people to use it. But the very first thing that I really have in my heart right now is I want to acknowledge myself and also yourself. And I invite you to take this acknowledgement, if it resonates with you, if you can hear it, and take it in and acknowledge your own self as well. Because let's look back maybe for the past 10 years or maybe the past 20 years and see how far we've come. Let's acknowledge that, okay, maybe you haven't got everything in life that you wanted so far. Maybe life's not how you thought it would be. Maybe you haven't got the perfect husband or the perfect child or the perfect home or the perfect job. You're not living in your true soul purpose yet, or that thing that you really want to see in the world just hasn't happened yet. It hasn't manifested. Maybe you want things to be a certain way. And this comes from me because I really, the last week particularly, been feeling a lot of personal grief, because I've been looking at my life and thinking that, well, I'm nearly 40, and what have I done these past 10 years? And I so know that I'm not alone with this. I know that particularly this month of November, it really is dig down to the bottom of the barrel time. Let's really look at our roots and the things that stop us from moving forward in life, the things that seem to really hold us back from being right deep down here in our sacral center, being the absolute divine essence that we are, and shining our light brightly for ourselves and for the world and for other people. What is it that's stopping us from doing that? And this month of November and following up to the end of this year is really about observing, taking this consciousness and observing and noticing what's happening here in the sacral center, the center of creation. And literally, this is where the memories of your conception are being held. So I read this when I'm reading people's energy fields, and I scan inside people's bodies, and the memories of how you were conceived are here in your sacral center, just below your belly button. And that has a huge impact on you. So I'm not going to go into that right now, but just noticing that, our consciousness wants to be around here at the moment, inside ourselves, uncovering what we need to uncover to move forward and to lighten our way and to lighten our world. This is the whole world as well. It's not just your little world that you were made in, but what the world is to you, what it looks like to you. Sorry, I can be a bit long-winded and go around in circles, but essentially what I'm saying is I've been in grief because I wanted to live in a community. I wanted to create a community based on the land where there was free-range education for children and for adults, and this whole certain way that I wanted it to be, a space of healing, a space of love, a space of creativity and allowance and acceptance and trust and safety and all these wonderful things. And I haven't yet created that. And I've been really kind of going, why haven't I got that yet? And I really had to give myself attention. I really, had to turn inside. And I used this technique on myself. I use it almost daily. And that's to turn inside and say to myself, acknowledge that pain, acknowledge that grief, acknowledge that, the world isn't the way I want it to be. It's not quite, I haven't quite got what I need, what I want. And really see that, really notice it. And I want to really give you that acknowledgement as well, that it's not maybe the way you wanted it to be. But we've been under so much transformation. I mean, it's got more and more and more intense, more acute, more finely tuned all the time. This transformation, this change that's been happening to us and that we've been going through. And so amidst all of that change and transformation and, accelerated evolution, I want to say, well done you, well done me, well done us. We've actually come a really long way. We just maybe find it hard to see that. And we always compare, and maybe also focus on what we don't have more than we should focus on, more than we do focus on what we do have. And actually how well we've done. So I want you to give yourself a pat on the back, and I want to extend my love and gratitude to you for everything that you've done and how far you've come. And I love you. And I'm sorry that the world doesn't seem quite right yet. The world doesn't seem like the place that you want it to be yet. Maybe you don't seem, maybe you're not the person that you want it to be yet, that you know that you can be, that you dreamed that you could be, and you're not that person yet. And this word sorry, I mean, essentially this is Ho'oponopono, this technique. And I read about this, and I'd been using it already, and I've learnt things directly from some, what I call the angels. Archangel Michael specifically revealed himself after 2 years of being my guide and sitting here. And I learned a lot of things by listening and listening and listening. And they taught me, the angels taught me, that this word sorry doesn't mean what many of us believe it means. It's nothing to do with guilt. It's nothing to do with it's your fault. We're taught as children to say sorry. I'm sorry. And it leaves me feeling low, small, crushed, bad, like I did something really bad. And in a way, words, and this is another video really about words, because the angels have taught me lots about words, that actually they're kind of a multi-dimensional shape. They're not a flat two-dimensional thing that we see written on a piece of paper. That has all the meaning stripped away from it, much like refined sugar or something, It's like every bit of goodness is taken out and you're left with something that it's actually really not. So this word sorry actually is the most beautiful way of saying, I see you. I see the part of you or the part of me. I see that which is out of harmony. I see that part of you which is not in harmony, which is not okay. And I'm sorry is the most beautiful way of acknowledging that. Because to acknowledge something is the very first step of healing it. You have to see the part that's not working properly for you. You have to see the part and be really honest with this and say, okay, wow, I really need this to be seen. I really need to see this, that actually this certain belief, this certain feeling, this whatever it is actually not really working out so well for me. Maybe you've really clung to it. Maybe you've really believed in it. And finally you have to admit, actually, I'm not okay. I'm not okay with this. This is not okay for me. And that admission, that's not a guilt admission. That's actually a really empowering and potentially healing admission, to look at something with courage, to look at something with honesty, and to say, okay, I see it for what it is. I really see that is out of harmony with the highest good of me. That's out of harmony with my true self. That's not the truth. And I'm sorry is the most beautiful way of acknowledging that. So I use this on myself, and when I was feeling grief, which is literally yesterday, just to turn my attention in, notice that part of me that's grieving, it's actually down here, and feel honestly that part of me that didn't feel okay. Breathing into my belly, breathing into that little me that's just going, life is not how I wanted it to be. Where's my community? Where's my land? Where's my family? I thought I'd have it by now, you know? And turn my attention into that little part of me and just say, I am sorry, me. I am so sorry, me. It means I see you, me. Honestly. And it's like that person inside of me somehow feels held. I feel touched. And that's the beginning. That's the beginning of healing something. I'm going to share the next bit in the next video.